Of course, everybody saw the videos with the body cam.
Keep coming. Keep coming. Walk back to me. Slowly walk toward me.
Hey! Over here! Over here! Hands up and walk toward me. Keep coming. Keep coming. Stop! Stop! Turn around. Hands up. Keep your hands up. All right, go to your knees.
How did you feel when they did apprehend everybody? How did that make you feel? Like,
I was relieved. I'm like, get them all. Everybody. The ones who didn't even pull the trigger. The ones who paid for the hit. Get them all, because my son didn't have no dealings with those people right there. So immediately I knew it was a hit. So until this day, I'm saying, get them all.
So were you okay to watch the shooting? How did that make you feel? Like,
when I first saw it, it looked like a movie to me. It just didn't look real. I thank God for that Tesla being out there. At one point, I just got invested with just looking at them. I'm like, they ran up on them. They snuck up on them like that. It was just unbelievable.
Speaking of his funeral, I know that had to be tough. Did you do it all by yourself?
Well, I did it by myself.
Really?
I did do it by myself. I just told him what I wanted, because I know how he liked it. I know he's saying, oh, my mom snapped on bro, because he called me mom. My mom snapped on bro or whatever. So I knew it had to be great. I feel like Century, he didn't make it. And I just lost it. I'm like, okay. Yes, I say, where they at? They're like, they took him to different hospitals. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna get ready to go to Tampa. And then I was like, they're like, but Foolio car still right there, dang. And I'm like, somebody must be dead. But I ain't thinking it's him, because he done got shot so many times. I'm like, but they say everybody was rushed to all these different hospitals. So I'm like, okay, let me go or whatever. So as I'm going to, we biking out, finna go to Tampa, a friend of mine called me because his son was shot too or whatever. He was like, Century, he didn't make it. And I just lost it. I lost it. And I just seen ATF, FBI, everybody there. And I'm like, it still didn't click. It still wasn't believable until I was able to see him or whatever, which they wouldn't let me see him or whatever. But when I talked to them, it's still unbelievable, like to this day, that he is gone.
For sure. It's definitely unbelievable for like a lot of the fans.
I must say too, Foolio looked really happy
He
that
was
night.
so happy his last 48 hours, and that's what I'm holding on to. He said it was the best birthday he have ever had. He was smiling, and he wasn't running and hiding from anybody. So that's why it was like he'll put his location. He just felt free. You don't think he's seen all those messages, bro, don't go, and all that type of stuff. He didn't care. I think he's got tired of running and ducking and hiding and doing whatever. My son was happy his last 48 hours. And he had always said, thank God I seen 18. Thank God I seen 21. Thank God I seen 23. Thank God I seen 25. Because he never thought he was going to make it through those years. And he did. So that's why it's my duty. It's my honor as his mother that I have to keep his legacy going.
And at what age was Charles when his dad passed?
About maybe 13 or 14 years old. He was Charles' dad. It wasn't like a street violence. He got in a fight with somebody. He was looking at TV, and then the guy, he thinking everything cool or whatever, and the guy shot him in the back of the head.
Oh man.
So it wasn't like a rival, like anything like that, but that's what happened. I was a victim of violence in August 2018. I was on my way to work, and I was shot 8 times. Close range.
Okay, back up.
Yeah.
So one morning going to work, you were shot 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
This is a shift I never work. I usually work at night. So this particular time, they wanted me to come in. I told them I'd come in and help them because we were short of nurses. Maybe like 5 something in the morning. I'm going out my garage, letting the garage go down. As I'm biking out, I just heard the shots. I just started to lean down to the passenger side. I like, Lord, please don't let them hit my upper body. So it finally stopped. I played like I was dead. I let my car slow roll to the middle of the street. When I seen they was gone, I pulled up and drive. Everybody came out their house and things of that sort. I wasn't living in fear. I was pissed because this didn't start because he shot somebody, killed somebody. It was because they kept on going back and forth on Instagram. That mouth of his, very disrespectful. Other things that had happened in the city. So I guess they say, oh, we can't take him or whatever. We can't get to him because he's in Atlanta. We'll find his mom. That's
crazy. Who shoot people, mom? Like
8 times, and I still got 8 bullets in me, and I learned how to walk.
What?
I sat and I watched that interview. I say this woman is justifying, blaming, and making excuses for her dead gangster demon son. And I just want to let her know he got what he deserved. Her son deserved to be killed. That's the point I've been trying to make. And I just want to let her know, I don't know Charles. I know Foolio, and the first time I met him, he threatened to harm me, slap me, an elder. Very disrespectful kid. And my response was, you ain't never slapped a nigga that'll kill you. And from what I heard, he ain't never slapped it. He just been rapping about people getting killed, and based on what he been rapping about, other people been doing the shoot. But he wasn't no shooter. He wasn't no fighter. He was a little bitty nigga about my size, if not smaller, talking tough on the beats. And looks like every time he was getting shot at, he wasn't shooting back. He wasn't ever prepared for what he was rapping about. I can get it that she don't agree with what I'm saying. But for her to say I don't like him and I'm too old, ma'am, I'm playing a character. And my character has never physically hurt anybody.
Imagine being convicted of a brutal murder, sitting in a courtroom where the evidence against you seems airtight, and thinking your fate is sealed, only to find out that the judge overseeing your case has been removed for bias. That's exactly what happened to Alicia Andrews. A case that seemed ironclad suddenly turned into chaos, leaving the victim's family devastated, the public shocked, and the legal system exposed in a way few expected. But how did it all unravel? And what does it say about fairness, justice, and the messy intersection of street life and the law? Let's break it down step by step, because this story is wild from start to finish. We're certain it was over. They had phone, we're certain it was over. They had phone records showing Alicia traveling from Jacksonville to Tampa, pinging off cell towers that placed her all over the city during the exact times in question. Surveillance footage caught her and her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, who goes by Gutter Z, sitting in a parking lot outside a club where Foolio was making an appearance. They didn't go inside, they just sat there for hours, quietly observing. The prosecution claimed Alicia's phone was actively coordinating with the shooters, sending texts like, "He's here, he's moving." Every move Foolio made that night was supposedly tracked by her. To the public and to the prosecution, it looked like a slam dunk case. Conviction seemed inevitable. But the thing about legal battles is, nothing is ever as straightforward as it looks. Just when it seemed Alicia was about to be locked up for a long time, her legal team made a move that nobody saw coming. Immediately after Alicia was convicted of manslaughter, her attorneys filed an appeal and froze her sentencing. What happened next is almost unheard of in cases like this. The appellate court agreed and removed the judge from the case. Now, think about that for a second. A judge being removed from a high-profile murder trial, that's not just unusual, it's rare. And the reason? Bias. The court found that the judge had displayed a pattern of behavior that unfairly favored the prosecution and hindered the defense. It was enough to completely undermine the fairness of the trial. So what exactly did this judge do that was so outrageous? The answer is complicated and shocking. From the very beginning, the courtroom was chaotic. During jury selection, Alicia's lawyers requested that potential jurors who openly admitted they didn't understand rap or street culture be struck from the jury pool. Why? Because this case was heavily tied to gang activity, rap lyrics, and the context of Foolio's music. If a juror couldn't grasp that world, they couldn't fairly judge the case. But the judge denied the request, forcing the defense to keep jurors who didn't understand the culture. To bring this up, the judge lied, claiming that the defense was trying to bring up the fact that the prosecution had gone over the 1-hour limit to bring this up. The judge lied, claiming she never gave a time limit. Footage later proved she had said it on camera. Throughout the trial, the judge repeatedly shut down defense objections, refused sidebar discussions, and even pressured them to rush through critical video evidence. Meanwhile, the prosecution got 6 full days to present their case. 6 days versus rushed minutes for the defense. It didn't stop there. The judge made repeated promises to the jury, claiming they'd be deliberating by Friday, even before the defense finished calling witnesses. Became so extreme that Alicia's lawyers documented 14 separate examples of bias, everything from enabling prosecution strawman arguments to blocking the defense from preserving their objections for appeal. All of this combined created the perfect storm for a successful appeal. Now, let's look at the actions that put Alicia in the center of this case. According to the prosecution, she was not just a bystander. She was coordinating and tracking Foolio, acting as a lookout, and communicating with the shooters. On the night of Foolio's birthday, he was celebrating in Tampa when Alicia and Gutter Z arrived from Jacksonville. Later, when Foolio checked into a hotel. Alicia and her boyfriend showed up at the same location, continuing the updates. Shortly after, the shooters arrived and attacked. The aftermath included the group retreating to an Airbnb that Alicia had rented before leaving the city together. Her defense team argued that she didn't know a murder would occur. They claimed she was coerced by an abusive boyfriend, painting a picture of fear and manipulation. The judge initially dismissed this angle, stating domestic abuse wasn't a legal defense for murder. The bigger question, however, was whether Alicia anticipated that death was a possible outcome. That fine line between manslaughter and first-degree murder became the jury's decision. And in the original trial, the jury sided with manslaughter. The emotional fallout has been intense. Foolio's mother, understandably grieving, has been vocal about her devastation. She's attended every hearing, spoken to the media, and demanded the harshest punishment for everyone involved. When Alicia's appeal was granted and the judge removed, social media erupted with her heartbreak and outrage. But there's a controversial angle here. Foolio wasn't just an innocent bystander. He was deeply involved in street conflicts and gang-related activity. He had a history of dissing other artists, glorifying violence in songs, and even contributing to deaths in his circle. Some argue that while his murder was tragic, it wasn't completely disconnected from the dangerous lifestyle he lived. This tension between street reality and parental grief adds a layer of complexity that many viewers find shocking. Foolio's mother's anger is genuine, but it clashes with the messy truths of the situation, making the case emotionally and morally complicated. The ripple effects of Alicia's appeal are enormous. The other defendants, Rashad Murphy, Isaiah Chance, Shaw Gathite, and others, are still awaiting trial. Lawyers for these cases are now watching closely, ready to point out judicial bias and procedural mistakes from Alicia's trial. One flawed courtroom can influence multiple cases, potentially derailing convictions and prolonging justice. This highlights a bigger issue. Even with clear evidence, phone records, surveillance, witnesses, the court system can be disrupted by a single judge's misconduct. It's a powerful reminder of the delicate balance between ensuring fairness and delivering justice. So, what happens next? A new judge will be appointed, and Alicia's lawyers are likely pushing for a full retrial. The prosecution may attempt to start from scratch, presenting the same evidence and hoping for a different outcome. Meanwhile, Alicia has already spent over a year and a half in jail. Depending on how the retrial or plea negotiations unfold, she could potentially receive a reduced sentence or even time served. In some scenarios, she could be released within a year or two. The uncertainty is staggering. For the victim's family, this is devastating. For the accused, it's a roller coaster of fear, hope, and uncertainty. And for the public, it's a stark look at how messy and unpredictable high-profile street cases can become. This case has everything: a brutal murder, legal drama, judicial bias, grieving families, and a legal system trying to balance justice with fairness. Foolio's mother is hurting, and rightly so, but the system must protect everyone's right to a fair trial, even those accused of heinous crimes. Alicia Andrews may have played a role in the murder. Evidence suggests involvement, but a biased judge can't be ignored. If the conviction were allowed to stand despite judicial misconduct, the integrity of the system itself would be compromised. The case isn't over. A new trial is likely. Plea deals are possible, and the streets are watching, the families are waiting, and the legal system is under a microscope. The story of Alicia Andrews and Julio Foolio is a reminder that in the intersection of street life and law, nothing is simple, nothing is guaranteed, and every detail matters. So, what do you think? Should Alicia get a new trial, or should the original conviction stand? And do you believe Foolio's mom has the right to demand justice, or is there a double standard at play? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want more breakdowns of these high-profile street cases, with all the drama, twists, and courtroom chaos, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. There's more coming, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Stay safe out there, and remember, the streets aren't worth it. For real. For real. Thanks for watching full video. Stay tuned for more such videos,